Welcome to the explainer. All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever caught yourself just waiting? Waiting for that one massive opportunity, that perfect moment, or some magical change that's going to suddenly make your life successful and peaceful? I mean, we all do it. We totally crave that sudden, overnight transformation. But as we unpack the source material today, we're actually going to challenge that whole idea. Because the truth? A better life isn't handed to you in one monumental day. It's actually built through the compound effect of tiny, repeated actions. So let's break down exactly how that works. So we've got this core conflict going on. On one side, there's this flawed expectation of magical, sudden change. We wait, we delay, and we basically stay inactive. But on the other side, we have reality. Small, daily habits. Our source really emphasizes that your life changes through tiny actions repeated every single day. It's these incredibly small choices that slowly shape your body, your mindset, your emotions, and your discipline. If you truly want to change your future, you've got to stop waiting for a miracle and start committing to the daily habits. To make this super actionable, we've synthesized the 8 specific rules from our source material into a roadmap with 4 interconnected pillars. First, we'll establish the foundation, your body and routine. Next is expansion, focusing on your mind and growth. Third, we'll find equilibrium for your inner peace. And finally, connection, exploring your external impact on others. Let's get right into it. Starting off with pillar number 1, foundation, mastering your body and your mornings. Look, you simply cannot build a resilient mind if your physical baseline is totally lethargic. Physical momentum literally sets the tone for every single other area of your life, which is why rule number 1 from our source is crystal clear. Never go more than 3 days without exercise. And it really comes down to this one core truth. Discipline matters way more than temporary motivation. A lot of people, they only move when they feel motivated, but motivation is fleeting. Some days you're pumped, other days you're completely exhausted. Highly successful people understand that discipline has to step in when motivation fades. They move even when they don't feel like it, not because it's fun, but because they understand the long-term compounding benefits. A little bit of exercise is absolutely always better than zero exercise. And hey, the benefits of regular movement go way beyond just physical appearance. It literally wakes up your brain, improves mental clarity, and naturally releases these amazing stress-reducing chemicals. Let's be honest, in today's modern world, we suffer from serious comfort addiction. We are practically glued to our desk chairs and our couches, avoiding physical effort like the plague. This inactivity, it makes us mentally and physically weaker. Exercise is the ultimate antidote to this modern lethargy. When you get up and move your body regularly, your brain releases chemicals that boost your mood and actually build genuine emotional resilience.
Which leads us perfectly into rule number 2, wake up early. And waking up early isn't about torturing yourself by losing sleep. It's about gaining control. When you wake up late, you're rushing, right? You feel stressed and you start your entire day in chaos. But when you wake up early, you get to experience a calm, focused environment. And as our source points out, a calm, productive morning creates this amazing domino effect. When you start your day productively, you just naturally continue making better choices all day long. One good habit triggers the next.
But watch out, because there is a massive trap here. It is incredibly dangerous to wake up and immediately check your phone. Even though, let's face it, grabbing that glowing rectangle is the very first thing most of us instinctively want to do. When you do that, you are letting the noise of technology, the notifications, and everyone else's demands hijack your brain before you've even had a chance to think for yourself. Wise people protect their early hours. They use this quiet time for self-improvement, whether that's working out, reading, or just having some peaceful thinking time, long before the rest of the world gets loud and chaotic. Let's move right along to our second pillar, expansion, fueling your mind and personal growth. Once you've got that physical foundation locked in, you need to turn your attention to your intellect and your resilience. These things compound over time through deliberate mental effort. This brings us to rule number 3. Make time to read every single day. Today, our attention spans are basically being destroyed by short-form doom scrolling, but daily reading actually restores that lost focus. Think of books as mentors. They train your concentration, they build up your vocabulary, and they completely protect you from the endless mental emptiness and negativity you find online. Just like junk food wrecks your body, junk information wrecks your brain. Reading is how you feed your mind high-quality fuel. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, I don't have the time to read a whole book. Well, that brings us to a really powerful number, 10. 10 simple pages a day. The source material highlights this incredible compound interest metaphor here. Reading just 10 pages a day might feel totally invisible at first, but do that consistently, it turns into thousands of pages a year. That small, daily habit creates an enormous long-term shift in your identity. You literally evolve from someone who is constantly distracted to someone who is focused, intelligent, and highly articulate. And as you grow, you have to remember rule number 4. Work harder than you did yesterday. Because your real competition, it's just your previous self. Constantly comparing yourself to other people who might be richer or smarter or just further along, that only creates stress and insecurity. True progress happens when you stop looking sideways and start looking backward. Just ask yourself, am I slightly better today than I was yesterday? Huge, life-changing results are built entirely from tiny, personal, daily improvements. Now, to actually work harder than yesterday, you have to understand this contrast. The comfort zone feels super safe right now, for sure. But staying there too long is almost always a guarantee for regret later in life. The discomfort zone, though, that is where the magic actually happens. Learning new skills, exercising, pushing your boundaries, it all feels uncomfortable. But our source makes it crystal clear. People who truly improve their lives learn how to handle this discomfort rather than constantly running away from it. Discomfort is quite literally the required currency for true transformation.
Okay, let's transition into our third pillar, equilibrium, protecting your mental peace.
In a world that is constantly demanding our energy, maintaining emotional balance is your absolute best antidote to modern anxiety and emotional exhaustion. Rule number 5 is simple but profound. Think less. As our source perfectly puts it, not every thought deserves attention. We constantly agonize over the future, our past mistakes, and what everybody else thinks about us. But the reality is, we usually suffer way more in our imagination than we ever do in reality. Overthinking just creates endless negative scenarios that completely paralyze us from taking action. A calm mind makes brilliant decisions, while an overloaded mind just creates confusion.
So how do we actually stop the overthinking? Well, the source provides these highly actionable routines to help clear out an overloaded mind. We're talking deep breathing, going for a walk, prayer, meditation, or actively stepping away from the screens to reduce your social media time. And listen, these aren't just trendy self-care buzzwords. They are vital maintenance routines for your brain. If you want to think clearly and make better choices for your future, you absolutely must implement these simple habits to let your mind rest.
Rule number 8 is wonderfully simple. Smile more. And hey, smiling isn't about faking a perfect life or just ignoring your real problems. It is a deliberate choice of hope. It's you actively refusing to let negativity and stress completely dictate your emotional energy. When you smile, even when things are incredibly tough, you improve your own mood and you literally change the energy of the people around you. It just makes life feel lighter. Which leads us beautifully into our fourth and final pillar, connection. Let's explore the power of external impact. Think about it. All this personal development, the exercise, the reading, cultivating mental peace, it ultimately serves a higher purpose, our connection with humanity and the people we love. Rule number 6 is to give more to people. And no, you absolutely do not need wealth to do this. You can give your time, your completely undivided attention, and honest encouragement. Just showing a little patience or simple kindness goes a long way. Honestly, sometimes just looking at someone and telling them, "I believe in you," can completely alter the course of their day, or maybe even their life. Genuine support creates emotional maturity and peace, not just in the person receiving it, but profoundly in the person giving it too. And when we're talking about giving your time, rule number 7 is arguably the most critical. Spend time with your family. Remember this very stark warning from the text. Money can return. Time cannot. We all get so incredibly busy chasing success, status, and wealth that we end up neglecting the people who truly matter the most. We forget that our parents are growing older, our kids are growing up fast, and those moments, they disappear forever. True emotional presence with your loved ones is infinitely more valuable than just providing for them financially. The absolute ultimate takeaway about connection is this. People may forget your success, but they will always remember how you made them feel. Just being there, truly listening, providing strong family support, and showing up emotionally, these acts serve as a crucial emotional anchor during life's inevitable struggles. Because at the end of it all, people are going to remember love, friendship, and kindness much, much more deeply than your money or your status. So we've covered the foundation of your body, the expansion of your mind, the equilibrium of your peace, and your connection to your loved ones. And notice not a single bit of this requires a magical overnight transformation. It all comes down to the compound effect of tiny, repeated habits. So I want to leave you with this one question. What small choice will you make today to change your future? Because remember, a better life is never created overnight. It is built through better daily choices. Go out and make a good one today.